Alex Revell. Thank you for joining me. First of all, let's look back on Tuesday's win. Have you had a chance to reflect and analyse performance and kind of what went well in the game?
Yeah, I think that we've obviously managed to look back in the game and see the parts that we obviously need to improve on and the parts that we felt we did well on. I think that the game ultimately was a scrappy game, and I think that whenever you go to Crawley, you've got to make sure that you roll up your sleeves and you give a real professional, dogged performance. And I think that's what we did. I felt like at times on the ball, we showed what we were trying to do. But obviously they make it difficult. No one's going to make it easy for you, and you have to come through that ugly side of the game. And I felt like that's probably something that we've really improved on in recent weeks, and managed to grind the result out. Listen, it took a special goal and a special save, but the biggest thing I think that we've noticed in more recent weeks is that these games are just all about moments. There's, you can have all the play, you can have no play, but ultimately the moment, there's big moments in games, and if you take those, and Elliot took his in a big moment, and Stocko saved his in a big moment. So ultimately, we're really pleased with the win, because obviously we know it was a tough place to go. But there's loads for us to work on, loads for us to improve on, to make sure that we're ready for Saturday.
Yeah, and on Tuesday we had the likes of Elliot Osborne coming back into the team, and the luxury of bringing on your captain Scott Cuthbert with 5 minutes to go to see out the win. Does that kind of prove how important the squad depth is at the moment?
Huge. We spoke about it a lot every time we've spoken. I think we spoke about the size of the squad. We wanted to keep it as small as we could, to keep that togetherness and that spirit, to know that, when you have too many players, the players on the outside can sometimes wonder where their game time's coming from if they're not playing. So when you have a smaller squad, it's a lot easier. And what you can also do then is you can involve the younger players. But obviously with the way that the world is at the minute, and injuries and COVID, you never know when that's gonna hit you. It was important to get numbers in, but the most important thing is that the group is strong together. And ultimately, if you see the footage of the goal, you see the goal going in, and what you see most of all is everyone who's the subs on the side all celebrating. And whatever goes on the football pitch, those are the real important parts to me that I look at and think that just goes to show we've got a really good squad of people that just all want the same. They want success. They want to be successful as a team, because they know ultimately that will be, bring individual success. So we've got to make sure that stays, and like you said, bringing Scotty on to make sure that we secure the game, and it is huge. And he wants to get back in the team, of course, but obviously, when a team's winning, it's tough to change teams.
So since Boxing Day, 12 games, 5 wins, 4 draws, and 3 defeats. I think the fans want to know what's changed from the first half of the season to now.
Well, I think it's going into games with a clear plan. I think that probably before, we were going into games with plans, but I think that we're always on the edge of winning games. I've always said, I felt like we've always been, there's only really been 2 games I really honestly believe we haven't been in, and that was Carlisle away and Colchester at home, and Colchester away. So they were really the only 2 where I honestly felt we didn't turn up. Throughout the whole season, when we've lost games, it's been 1-0, 2-1 by a goal, and we've had chances in those games. So I've always felt we're on the verge of being a successful team. And maybe obviously the January signings have come in, and they're different to what we had, and they've given us more experience. And we've also obviously brought in Dean Wilkins, who's brought in an approach that could see from the outside what maybe needed to improve on, and he's come in and given us a real energy and just worked on the plan that we wanted to do. We've changed obviously our shape as well, which we feel has had a real big impact on us. We've always looked solid. We've always looked like we're not going to concede goals, and it was just on the other side of that, of just taking our chances, and ultimately we have taken our chances, but we're still in that position where we've created a lot and haven't taken them. And the minute we can really start to improve that, which we are seeing. We're winning games more now. But the biggest thing is belief. You win a couple of games, the confidence comes back. And you start going into games believing you're going to win games every game. So that's probably the biggest impact that we've had. But it's a collective. It's everyone who was there before hasn't changed. The staff, they've been the same. So I don't think there's been a magic formula, but I just think it's just a snowball effect of everyone really coming together, and few additions have made a real impact.
So let's talk quickly about the under-23s. We saw Osborne played for the 23s against Brentford on Sunday night before then scoring on Tuesday. Can you give us a bit of insight into what's happening there?
Well, I think what's really key is that everyone at the academy are doing a fantastic job in terms of players up to the age of 18, 19. And then at the minute, there's a bit of a gap between the two. So, I think it's quite hard sometimes taking an 18-year-old to be put straight into the first team. So what's happened this year is that, Robbie, Jordan, Ronnie have all organised games for the gap between. And they're going on every week. We're trying to get as many as we can so that those players that are at the end of their contracts and that are first-year pros get the opportunity to play in games. And it's been really successful. I think that the fact that, Ronnie's there with Jordan, taking the senior players, the younger players now are playing in the 18s. So they're obviously getting more, the physical battle of that. And it's been really fantastic. Like Robbie's, put it all together. And we're hoping that obviously it's something that we might look at in the future, just to give that bridge, that gap really between the two. So it's been really successful. And to be honest with you, Elliot Osborne coming on and scoring because he's been able to do that. He might not have been able to do that if we didn't organise these games. Harry Draper being involved in the squad because he's come through and he's shown a tremendous attitude that every day, like I say, that the coaches, tell us how well he's doing. So it's a really important, and what it does do, I feel that since those games, it's really probably bonded the academy and the first team as well, because it's a brilliant bridge between the two. So it's something we're excited about. It's something that obviously still in planning, but we'd like to obviously look at for the future because it's proven, worth its weight in gold really so far. We're all looking forward to see where that takes us. But ultimately, it's shown that it can work when you see, the likes of Elliot Osborne coming straight in, Billy Johnson playing in games when he might not get as many games in the first team. So it's been a real good help, and it's something that hopefully we're all excited that we can bring. But we're just having to see how it works at the minute. So
now looking ahead to Walsall on Saturday, coming off the back of 3 away trips, 6 points out of 9. It's a good boost before coming back home.
Yeah, we've got. I like Walsall. They're a good side. They're a good side, and on their day, they're attacking wise, that they've got some real attacking threats. So we've got to make sure we're ready for those. But we are back at home. We've got this little break at home on Saturday, and then we're back to 2 away trips again. I think that it's strange, isn't it? Without fans, you'd think it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't matter whether you're at home or away because but it does. And we know that obviously the last time we played at home, second half, we put on a really top performance against Morecambe and should have, strolled away with the game. So we know that we're full of confidence. The players know that they've got to work hard. We know that there's a lot to work on still. But ultimately, we know we can go into games knowing that the desire, the togetherness I talk about all the time is there. And then we just add a little bit more quality each game. We know that the results will hopefully keep improving. And then we can go in and hopefully get a really good result on Saturday. And just finally, how's the squad looking? Are the legs still there? I know it's been tough time the last few weeks, but how are we looking ahead of the game? Yeah, listen, it is a grueling schedule. I don't think people don't realise that. Not just physically but mentally. I think it is tough. You're travelling. We've had 3 long away trips. We're not getting back to the early hours, so you lose that day. So these players have. Like I said on Tuesday, what pleased me the most on Tuesday was that the last 10 minutes, they gave absolutely everything. They were throwing their bodies on the line. They were running in the channel. Elliot Osborne chased 4 players. those bits of energy just prove that we're in a really good place. And players want to stay in the team, and that's driving people as well. So energy's there, no problem about that. We know we're fit. So, and ultimately, at times we will have to change players because energy does run out, and freshness. You need freshness in times. With these amount of games, we've still got a month left of Saturday, Tuesday games. It's going to be a tough month. But ultimately, the players are keeping themselves going. Like I said, winning helps. It just gives you a lift, gives you energy, and they'll be fired on Saturday. They're all looking forward to it already. So we know that we're in a good place.